What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 181 of the Clever and Original Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Kayley Misialek. Alongside me, the man with a plan, Jayden Reinhart.
Yeah, what's up? I'm here again, wearing a shirt.
As always.
As always, I tend to wear shirts.
Starbomb,
yeah. It's supposed to look like a metal thing, but they're actually like a comedy band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And right over here is nobody. Because JJ is
empty
gone. Like a jerk.
Yeah, if you want to put an application, we're filling a third slot now on our podcast.
Yeah, just
job opening.
just looking for a third host of the Clever and Original Podcast. So you, I guess, listener, can join us on the next episode.
If you want to apply, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Exactly. Smash that like button. So yeah. If you haven't listened to us before, we are the Clever and Original Podcast. We talk about comic book movie type stuff and video game type stuff, particularly in that order.
Yeah.
Let's get on with some news, shall we?
Sure.
Avengers Endgame and the big conclusion to Infinity War last year, the big epic Marvel crossover that is every character they've ever put in a movie and a film is happening, and supposedly it's really long. A new rumor has it that they're considering putting an intermission during Avengers Endgame.
Jeez.
To help deal with people who to help people deal with the runtime, which seems to be currently at 3 hours.
Jeez.
Not that many movies have intermissions. Like older movies do. Like I remember, like Lawrence of Arabia. A few others.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah. But you don't see those anymore. And I don't know. How do you think people would react to that?
I mean, I don't know. I feel this is going to be one of those special circumstances where I think it makes sense. Like if that was a thing in a movie that was like an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'd be really weirded out, I guess. And maybe depending on how long the intermission is, like maybe even a little upset. Because that also means I have to stay there longer to watch the whole thing.
Right.
And people have schedules, they have to go to work, they have kids, they have lives. So you can't make it too terribly long. But I mean, honestly, if this movie's like pushing 4 hours, should probably have an intermission.
Yeah, I don't think they would get close to 4 hours. 3 hours though is long.
Yeah.
How long are the Lord of the Rings movies? Those movies are long and they don't have it.
Yeah, I mean maybe the extended cuts are close to that, if not as long. But I don't know. I mean, even because 2.5 hours, I feel like isn't too much to ask. But that's what most lengths are, right?
Yeah, so I think a lot of the Marvel movies have this structure where it's their solo film movies are 2 hours, and then you have the team up films like Avengers and Captain America: Civil War that are 2.5 hours, and so you get that runtime. Obviously, this would be half an hour longer than that. I believe Endgame was close to not Endgame. Infinity War was close to 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I'm seeing here that the average movie length is about 130 minutes.
Yeah,
so just under 2 hours.
Yeah. Yep.
Which, I mean, if you got a whole other hour in there, like that.
Yeah, and it looks like Infinity War was slightly less than 2 hours. 2.5 hours, sorry.
And you got to think too, movie theaters, and they're selling you stuff, they're giving you concessions, people got drinks. Right. The smart people don't get drinks or get a smaller drink.
It's this weird thing, right? I think movie theaters would like it because intermission go get
more,
drink or more
refill your
food or,
soda.
whatever.
You back out there buying more stuff.
But like, I don't think Disney would like it because now it's 3 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means they can't show it as often. Because now
I suppose,
they're running into other times when the theater would be.
Or that they would have to have more theater space than they already do.
Right. Which is kind of like hard to do because like theaters are their own thing.
Who did that with some, like, if they wanted to show a movie, they had to have at least like so much of their movie theater devoted to that movie. What was that? I think that was Disney.
Yeah, I think it was Disney. I think it was for either Star Wars or maybe an Avengers film.
Yeah, I think it was Star Wars. That sounds
right.
Yeah,
I think it was like either Star Wars. I think it might have been Episode 8.
8, yeah.
The newest one, The Last Jedi.
Yeah, they're like, if you want to put this in your theater, you have to, like, blah, blah, blah. We get this much of a take, which is like a way bigger take than normal.
Right.
That kind of stuff. So they could do something like that again, but even that wouldn't help much. With the 3-hour runtime, like, movie theaters generally set that up based on like 2 hours average.
Mm-hmm.
So that would definitely, and then you have to imagine, like, even just like, I don't know, how long are intermissions? Hadn't been intermissions for a long time.
So intermission, it seems like would be 10 minutes.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, half an hour would be way too long. But the 10 minutes is going to add more time. Like, I'm assuming it's not going to be 3 hours on the dot.
Right, you start at 7 and you're done at 10.
Yeah, probably not.
Well, like, I would think now, because, you got a 7 o'clock showing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got, like, the trailers beforehand, which should take, like, maybe 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So you got 10 minutes there. Then you got intermission in there somewhere, so 10 minutes, so 20 minutes, plus a 3-hour runtime, 3 hours, 20 minutes. So by the time you get out of there, it's probably like
11:30.
Yeah.
Or
wait.
Or 11:20. Oh no.
10:30.
10:30. Yeah, 10:30. Yeah. But even then, like, you can't really start another showing at 10:30. I mean, what they probably do is 7 and 8.
11.
Yeah, but at 11, that would run till
obviously
2 in the morning.
Sure, but like they used to do that, right? They still kind of do.
Yeah, I have been to one, like, it's been past midnight when I get out there. I'm like, oh crap, I can't believe I'm still here and they're still open, kind of.
Right.
They're pretty much closed down at that
point. I mean, I would think, like, well, because, it would be so they could do another showing in that same theater.
Yeah.
Versus like having to get multiple theaters to show the same film.
Well, and they probably do at least 2, like at least the ones around here. Like, if it's a big movie, you generally see at least 2 devoted to it.
I think
maybe like a 3D.
I think there will be like 4 at least, or probably the day of, like, almost all of them are probably going to be Avengers,
and then after like 2 or 3 for a while until they start dying down in population. But yeah, no, I think
population.
I feel like, I guess if you did 7, you could also do one at 8, but then you would only have one of those theaters start back up at like 11, because you're not going to start one up at 12. Get out at 3 in the morning. No one's going to go for a midnight showing unless it's the midnight day of. We don't even do that anymore. We do it before then.
Right, yeah.
So,
because, like, I remember back in the day, back during like 2008, I think. When did it start changing? Was it like I think it was like Avengers or like Iron Man 3 somewhere in like 2012, 2013, where they started to do it earlier than midnight. But like, I remember going to the Dark Knight. They only did midnight because it was technically the day of the film release.
Yeah.
I remember going to see Spider-Man 3 at midnight. Great showing. It was my first midnight movie too.
Oh man, that's rough.
So like, first like early showing of a movie was Spider-Man 3.
I don't know. Technically though, The Dark Knight, that was the trilogy one, right? Didn't they show all 3? You showed up at like 7.
No, Dark Knight was the second one. It was one with Heath Ledger.
Yeah, what was the third one?
Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, that was the one where, like, the Dark Knight Rises technically started at midnight, following the rule of thumb. But they showed the first two movies early enough so that you could fit them both in.
Right.
I remember that.
But I don't know. An intermission would be kind of weird.
Mm.
Just because, like, I haven't ever experienced one in, like, actually experienced one. Because, you know, there's, like, stuff like Lawrence of Arabia or, like, Monty Python. You know, it just shows up there. You know, it's like, okay, I can just, like, fast forward.
Yeah.
I've never actually been, like, well, I'm just kind of curious. I kind of know what would happen, but I'm curious, like, as to, like, how that would go about, and like how do you like make sure people like know to come back or whatever.
Right. Well, and also like what if, because I imagine when that happens, right, people start standing up going to the bathroom as they're doing like whatever they're doing during intermission, they're gonna be talking about it.
Yeah.
And what if you have people just coming in to see it, and then there's spoilers everywhere, like, oh man, do you see that part where Iron Man's head exploded, and everyone's like, hold on, I haven't even gotten to see the movie yet. Fuck you. Like, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big problem for intermission coming out and then, like, talking like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Because, like, yeah, people are going to talk about at least the first half of the movie. They're like, oh, my God, like, this happened or whatever.
You'd have to set it up so that there are no showings, like, that start during that intermission. Like, that half-hour period, like, those are the only people leaving, or 10 minutes, sorry. That 10-minute period, those are the only people leaving and coming back.
I mean, it's hard to really, like, because, you know, people come whenever they come. Right.
But
at least try and, like, get the flow going so that there's less. But, or they just don't give a shit.
Yeah, right. Because they're making money. They don't care.
Like, it's just... That would be weird if they did it.
Yeah.
But I could see it happening.
Yeah, I could see it. This is like one of the few like lengths that I could see. Like I think 3 hours is definitely a threshold of some sort.
Right. Yeah. Like 2.5 hours is long to sit in one spot. Like, for like Infinity War, Infinity War felt like it went like that.
Yeah.
But like the Avengers: Age of Ultron, you know, what was it? Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
And it's just like some of these, like, you know, that can be long or whatever. And so like 3 hours, that's definitely a long time to be sitting in one spot.
Yeah, for sure.
So unless they shorten it down to like 2.5 hours, I don't know. I think they probably need an intermission. Yeah,
because I think that cutting it down isn't necessarily a good answer.
Because like
either.
I'm gonna have to use the restroom. Like you know, I got my drink. I got maybe popcorn or some candy. You know. I'm drinking things. Like I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom. Sometime in that 3 hour.
Also, like 10-minute intermission. If you think about it, like how many people you fit in a movie theater, everyone going to the bathroom at once. It might have to be longer than 10 minutes for everyone to actually get to use the bathroom. I mean, they're probably not thinking of fairness either. They're just saying, oh, you could stretch your legs. But, like, that's going to be rough.
Yeah.
Like, you know when you're in an airplane, there's, like, a line for that one bathroom in the airplane?
Yeah.
It'll be like that, but, like, 50 people.
Yeah, I would be like, don't start the film until I get back. Like, screw you.
I don't know. Working a kitchen job, like sometimes it gets so busy you can't leave on break. A lot of places don't even give you a break for like kitchen jobs. So I'm used to just holding it for a long period of time, but still, like sitting there for that long, and then standing up, and like it's
like I think the difference there is that like I'm like people are like eating and drinking things as they're watching the film, right?
Right.
So that makes a difference, I think. Also I'd be curious to see like how they actually like get, like I said earlier, get people back into their like seats. Like do they like go over like an intercom or whatever in the theater and be like, the intermission's wrapping up for X movie in theater or whatever.
Well, I imagine what it would be
seats. Like. Or is it just like okay, 10 minutes from now, go. And then you have to remember, like, I mean...
I kind of imagine it, you know when you're in class and the teacher pauses the video to, like, ask you a question? I feel like it's like that, right? Like, maybe the movie doesn't actually have 10 minutes of intermission, but they, like, it gets the intermission and they pause it for 10 minutes, you know? or like stop the
Interesting.
reel somehow, or I don't know, however it works. I've never been in a booth, so I don't know how they set that up. But I feel like that's what they would do, and then they would like corral everyone back in.
Okay.
Like they wouldn't like make sure everyone's back in their seats, but they would just, like it's been 10 minutes, like we're starting the movie, and
Yeah.
then they are the ones who can hit the play button again. I don't know. I feel like that would be easier, because then like if something happens, you can like, I don't know though, because that's
Yeah,
a lot
I mean-
I don't know.
It's just like I'm also thinking like if there is an intermission, right?
Yeah.
How do you start the film back up? Because like the lights go down or whatever at the beginning of a movie, and there's like this big thing or this like build up, right?
Yeah.
Or like this big thing that happens. So to get people's attention, like how do you do that after people had already started watching the film?
Yeah, you have
It's
to have like
almost-
another build up.
It feels like, when you're at home watching a movie and then you press pause, okay, go to the bathroom or whatever, and then come back, press play or whatever.
Yeah, and you lose that like initial build up.
Right. You don't. So, like, it would be interesting to see.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah. Who knows? It might happen. It might not happen. But if it's 3 hours, I probably want an intermission.
Yeah. Especially if they start pushing that.
Yeah. So we'll see. Avengers Endgame is the culmination of kind of like the entire MCU. So like,
Yeah.
I guess I'll allow it.
And every movie has its own like rise and fall, but this is like the rise and fall of
Of, like,
everything
yeah,
Marvel.
All the movies adding up together. Okay. Now payoff.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll be great.
Speaking of Marvel, other movies, Captain Marvel is coming out in March, next month. Actually, wow, we're pretty close.
Jeez.
It will be the first extreme exclusive for Disney Plus, Disney's streaming service. The first theatrical release exclusive on the platform.
Mhm.
So once usually they get streaming services and like television networks get movies X amount of time after it has been released in the theaters. Like Disney had a deal with Netflix. You can see Infinity War on Netflix. Same with Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Mhm.
So starting with Captain Marvel, that will be the first one on Disney Plus.
I don't know. I gotta be honest. Like with Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out, and like me just kind of taking a step back and looking at everything Disney, they kind of seem really greedy, and I don't know if this is gonna help at all. And like I'm probably just gonna make sure I see it, like before it becomes Disney Plus exclusive. I don't think this would make me buy Disney Plus exclusive.
No, I wouldn't buy it because
No.
of this. Like, I don't even watch the Marvel movies on Netflix. I mean, I
Yeah.
buy on Blu-rays. I mean that,
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I guess a lot of people don't. I don't
Mhm.
get why you would.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't get why you would subscribe to a streaming service for like one thing, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I guess these things like add up, right? And so that makes sense.
And
But
eventually have enough reasons to.
I don't know.
want
I
it,
think
I
if you like
suppose, but-
really want a film like that, just buy it.
Mhm.
But I mean, I don't know. Whatever. Like, I guess I don't see. I mean, it's not going to make people buy it, but it's gonna be like, or like, subscribe to the streaming service. But it's gonna be like, okay, now you have to like spend money on it, either by buying it from us or paying for this streaming service from
Mhm.
us.
Yeah.
I mean, you were gonna pay for it either way, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's just whatever. Like, I figured this was going to happen. Disney has their own streaming service now. They're gonna put their movies on the streaming service.
Mhm.
Interesting though that it's Captain Marvel. That will be the first
That's
one.
the first. Yeah, I didn't really. I always kind of thought it'd be like some kind of classic. Well, I mean, I guess this will be the first one from like theaters to Disney Plus.
Mhm.
But it's still weird, like it being Marvel, because even though now Disney owns like
Marvel.
Marvel and Star Wars, like it doesn't. It still feels like they're kind of their own thing.
Right.
which is good. I mean,
Yeah,
that's how it should
I
be.
would definitely not want it to feel like it's
No,
Disney, I
Disney
guess.
meddles with a lot.
Yep.
A lot of
And
stuff.
that's why James Gunn isn't a director anymore for Guardians 3.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he said some shitty stuff, sure, but I don't know.
Yep.
Not a big Disney fan anymore. I'm a fan of
Says
their
the
work.
guy who plays Kingdom Hearts 3.
Well, I don't want to get into it a whole lot, but it kind of seems like Disney fucked over the Kingdom Hearts 3 people because they didn't let them use Star Wars or Marvel. Like they were straight up like Kingdom Hearts was like, oh, can we use these worlds? And Disney's like, nah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And apparently Disney had a lot of say in Kingdom Hearts 3 too. To like that's why. The spoiler alert for Kingdom Hearts 3. There's only like 8 worlds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, compared to like 12, it's not like it was like 25 or whatever that I was expecting, but still. Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Disney.
moving on. Microsoft, or that does it for movie type stuff. Video game type stuff. Microsoft planning Xbox Live for Nintendo Switch and mobile devices.
Yeah.
So, Xbox One and Nintendo Switch have cross-platform play with games like Minecraft, Rocket League, and I think Fortnite is on there as well. A few others. And now it appears as though that they are developing Xbox Live for the Switch and mobile devices. So when you play Minecraft on your Nintendo Switch, you can unlock achievements for your Xbox Live account. You can, same with Rocket League, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Use the Xbox Live network for all this stuff on your Nintendo console or your mobile device. So, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of figured, obviously, Microsoft is Microsoft, so PC. They obviously went there first with, like, their being able to play Xbox games from your computer, like from the app they have or whatever. That made sense. That was an obvious first move. I didn't see Switch being the next move. Or, I mean, I guess mobile in general, because Switch is mobile. But I think it's a good move for them to kind of go mobile with it, too, because their console can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so to allow that, like, that's going to
Right.
help out a lot.
Yeah, and everyone's like, PlayStation does mobile. Same with Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
When will Xbox do it? And probably never.
Right.
They might do like streaming, like a tablet or something.
Mm-hmm. But this helps a lot in that
Yeah.
manner for sure. So because they can just let Switch be the Switch, or everyone has a phone, it's way easier for them to just kind of like write it off, just like here we go, here we're mobile now, and just move on with what they want to do. So yeah, I think this is a good move for them. I think it's a good move for Switch too, because that's gonna help out a lot of people who maybe have an Xbox and were thinking about buying a Switch. Like more reason to.
Right. Yeah, I think it's, and I guess it gives them access to like their friends list and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
help get games going and everything. And
Yeah, actually,
stay connected to people even though you're on a different console.
Actually, I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of. Similar thought, I guess. Whatever. The word doesn't matter. I was playing Apex Legends, which is a game on Origin, the EA launcher.
Mm-hmm.
And that game actually allows you to sync up to your Steam friends list.
Really?
And so, yeah, and I think this will help in the same way. Like, you don't have to convince your friends to come to a new platform or, like, they're just there. Like, the list is already there. All the progress, all of the people that you friended because you won that one game in Fortnite, like, they're still there. You can still find them, and now you can take it on the road. And, yeah.
That's really cool. Like, yeah, I think good for both companies.
For sure.
Yeah. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
Moving on, Xbox. Phil Spencer says that this E3 2019 will be for Microsoft, quote, will be, or quote, be as big as we've ever been, end quote, on an episode of Major Nelson's podcast. Going to be a fun E3 for them, he says. And this is also the E3 that PlayStation is not going to be attending this year. So, interesting note, Microsoft looks like it's going to take advantage of the fact that PlayStation is going to be absent from E3 this year.
Yeah. I think that's definitely a solid move on Microsoft's part, is to kind of play it out as long as they don't mess it up. Like, this is going to be an easy win for them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how relevant E3 is compared to when it was like first started. Because back then it was more of a thing that people would check out, you know, it affect the stock. It still affects the stocks. But it was more of like a, what's the word I'm looking for?
Trade show.
Yeah, that's it. You weren't just like a random person that was able to go and see it, and so it played more of a role in that aspect of it, like for news headlines and how well you did as a company. Different now for sure, but even so, with it maybe being slightly less relevant than it was, this is still going to be a huge win for them, publicity wise, if they do well and there's no Sony, like they have no competition,
right?
Because Nintendo doesn't try to compete even if they're there. They kind of do their own thing. Mm-hmm. It's really Sony versus Microsoft every time. And you got like the individual publishers, but
right. I mean, yeah, I think you're right. Like, I mean, I think this is a good thing for them. I'm interested to see where they go with this, because a lot of talk is that the next Xbox and PlayStation 5 are going to be coming out in like 2020, and people are saying that's why PlayStation is not showing up at this. Is like Microsoft going to like announce that the next Xbox at this conference? Mm-hmm. Are they going to show a bunch of games that are coming out for that console, or are they going to show a bunch of new stuff for like Xbox One? Like, how do they go about this during this time? I'm interested to see, because we're kind of in this somewhat of a limbo here. I mean, where we know that the next console generation are like a year or two away. Mm-hmm. Obviously, PlayStation is like forgoing this one because it sounds like they're trying to focus on on PS5. Mm-hmm. What is Xbox doing with this time where, you know, there isn't competition and you're so close to the next console cycle? Do you like go for that big thing while you got all the attention on yourself, or do you wait because it might not be till 2020 and then, you know, you lose some steam going into it?
Yeah, that's true as well. I guess they are losing like time to work on this. I suppose, I mean, like, this is still them showing up would be easy win publicity wise, but it would have also just been just as easy to drop out themselves and not take a hit for it. Mm-hmm. Because like Sony took a risk, obviously,
right,
dropping out for Microsoft, depending on them either to drop out so there's no issue, or they stay and they get all like free publicity essentially. But well, not free. I'm sure there's like whatever prices and stuff, but like just free game for them. And yeah, it's gonna be, I don't know. I don't really know what to expect. I guess it would have to be like they have a lot of faith in their console, like they're almost done. Mm-hmm. And Sony would be the one that's behind, and they're trying to like play catch up. But I don't know if that's, I don't know. They've pretty much been neck and neck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
sure. As far as like soft or hardware and
stuff. I mean,
I
guess I could see them announcing like the next Xbox. Like, they announced Scorpio a year before it was released.
Yeah.
Or Xbox One X. I said Scorpio because that's what they announced it as. But yeah, they did that. So I could see them doing the next one as like a year in advance. You know, that's what they used to do. Like, and then Xbox One X or One and PlayStation 4 and then Nintendo Switch all broke that trend, and we're like, okay, we're going to announce it, you know, like 6 months or 8 months before they release. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
I don't know. I think that works really well though. I mean, consoles can definitely hold interest longer than like game titles, even like the best game titles. Mm-hmm. But I think it's always better to like wait longer.
Yeah,
because then you can give the person more information,
right?
Like about your console or game or whatever. But yeah, I think maybe Xbox should have dropped out. Maybe they don't have any other changes to make. Maybe it's basically done.
I don't know.
So they're not worried about it. But it would have been easy enough for them to drop out and then spend more time on it, you know?
I mean, I think if they go for it, I think they can win big.
Yeah.
But I also, I'm not sure if they will, you know, because of how close it is. But I mean, we'll see. I think them being there, even if they don't do it, is a good thing. You know, just having something to like go out there and be like, hey, this is coming or whatever.
Yeah.
Is good.
Yeah.
And kind of surprised by the fact that Sony decided to not show up for E3 with PlayStation. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's many ways this could go. Interesting to see how it turns out. And apparently they're going big, according to Phil Spencer.
Yeah, that seems like that's what they say every year, though, you know?
Right, yeah, no, I totally agree.
Biggest E3.
This is
bigger than last year.
Which was the biggest. And
which was also the biggest before that year.
Which was also the biggest.
That don't take too much.
I wouldn't take...
I don't take too much away from it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for the news this week. Let's get on to some juice.
Yeah.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. We play it.
Mm-hmm.
We are fans of Smash here. Let's talk about mains. Mains being your main character in Smash, the one you play the most, where it's your go-to character. What are our mains? What is your main?
Well, so for a while, I played Captain Falcon in the earlier ones, and there was less of a roster. But with so many characters now, it's kind of hard to decide, I guess. A lot of times, like when I'm playing just by myself, like killing time or whatever for a few minutes, I'll just do random. Like I always do like random against like a high-level computer. And I learn a bunch of different people. I do kind of like the slower characters more.
Okay.
I think. You know, like Bowser I've spent some time on. But he does feel pretty rigid.
Okay.
Like movement-wise. It's a lot of like straight up, straight down. He has like the slam, but then he also has the one where he grabs you and slams you. Like they're not the same move, but I don't know. I've also played some like faster characters too, but just the fact that they don't hit as hard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like dodging around and getting like one good hit in.
I like I like the fast characters. Like I main Sonic.
Okay.
Probably my favorite. Although I have been like getting more involved with Ness recently.
Yeah.
Like I've started to learn how to actually use Ness from back in the day when I played Smash 64 and I had no idea what I'm doing, so I'm falling off the stage and I'm like up B and then it just goes up and I'm like, what the heck? Die.
Yeah.
But now I know how to use Ness and I really like him. And I think, you know, a lot of people I think don't know how to use Ness.
Yeah, well, to be sure, he has fairly decent recovery if you can use it.
Right, yeah,
it's
if you know how to use
for sure.
it, you know.
And even, like, not just as recovery, but you can use himself as a projectile.
Right.
That is a ton of damage. I don't know, though. I think ever since I hit a PK freeze, like, I've started playing him a lot more, too. It's such a good move. I guess, not really a go-to character, but Jigglypuff, if I'm just feeling kind of, like, meme-tastic, I guess. Yeah. Because that beat down is just, it's
insane.
It's the worst. It's the best.
Yeah.
Hit someone with that, they just fly off the screen. What the hell happened? You know.
I am interested to see how Piranha Plant plays out. I did download it. I have played like a couple of matches with Piranha Plant, but I haven't really done much. Yeah, I'm interested to see how that plays out in like an actual match with other people.
Yeah, I'll have to play Piranha Plant a bit as well. Maybe that'll be my main.
Yeah, there you go.
I always did like doing that when a new character came out or something.
Yeah.
a new
just start going in that.
or even like minor things like a new flavor of ice cream, Ben and Jerry's or something.
Yeah, gotta try new things.
Yeah, I like new stuff.
Variety is the spice of life.
Yeah.
Life
Lessons.
Yeah. All right. I think that does it for us on this episode of the Clever and Original Podcast. Jay, if people wanted to find you on the social media sphere, where could they do that?
If you want to come find me and tell me what my main is, come find me on Twitter at Jayden Reinhart.
And you can find me at Kayley Misialek on Twitter. You can find us all at Clever_Original on Twitter. And as you are right now, listen to us each and every week on SoundCloud, iTunes, and other podcast services. And we'll catch you next week on episode 182.
Yeah.
Peace.